did very well to overcome my technical deficiencies there. Sorry, I should introduce. This is Andrea Schweer from New Zealand.
Yesterday we had a few people telling stories. I'm not going to start with a story, but I'm going to start with a question. Who looks after your repository? In a lot of cases people are going to say, oh yeah, we've got this group of librarians, we've got this group of tech people, and they all work together and everything's awesome. In many cases people are going to say, yeah, that would be great, but we're much smaller. And sometimes it's going to be a case of the semi-technical repository manager relying on support from local IT, and we all know what that might mean. And in some cases, the situation might be quite different. I'm not sure these 20 seconds are 20 seconds as I think they are. Anyway, in some cases you might have your repository hosting outsourced completely, where you pay and you get what you pay for, and you get what you pay for. And also you're probably one of many. So let me talk about how we found a middle way to do this with the Library Consortium of New Zealand. I'm Andrea, not Allison, as it says in the program. The paper was written together with people from the four other institutions who are part of this project. So the four institutions that are part of this project are the Unitec Institute of Technology and 3 universities, AUT, Waikato and Otago. And as you can see on the map, we are spread out geographically across New Zealand. We are reasonably small institutions with about 15 to 20,000 full-time students each. Who looks after our repositories? The hosting is contracted out to Waikato University ITS, funnily enough, who is then a customer of itself. And the staffing is 1 dedicated technical person. Hello. Some project management and some systems and network admin, and then for the library side, each of the sites has library staff, and the actual arrangement varies quite a bit. For the technical environment, each site has their own servers. They're all running DSpace XML UI. They're all part of the virtual server environment, and they're all quite similar, but also they're not identical. They also have their differences. And we're running a little bit extra services for the infrastructure too. The consortium itself was originally established to purchase and operate a library management system. It was incorporated as a not-for-profit in 2004 with the 3 universities and also Waikato, Victoria University and Wellington as shareholders. And is set up with a manager, a board and senior management group. The repository project that's kind of tagged on to the library management system has now been running for about 3 or 4 years with AUT, Otago and Waikato. And also Unitec joined as a client, not a member, in 2009. Victoria decided to do their own thing. We have an operations group, that's me and also the librarians, and we meet in a monthly telephone call and in an annual meeting. So what does that mean for us? How is that working out? What would we, like other institutions who contemplate going the same way, to know about what the lessons we've learned in the last few years? The sum and the parts and greater and all these things. Yeah, we are a community and we share, and we think that together we can achieve more than each of us would be able to achieve on their own. Not just in terms of costs, but also in terms of other benefits and just community building, learning from one another. Another advantage is that everybody gets to do what they do best. We don't have the frazzled repository manager who doesn't really know their technical stuff having to do technical stuff. We don't have the technical person who doesn't really know anything much about libraries having to do library stuff. So everybody gets to play to their strengths. One of the challenges is that we are quite different. The repositories are quite different. The institutions are quite different. One's a member, three are members, one's a client. The staffing is quite different, as are the processes around our repositories. Another challenge is to agree on direction and priorities. I had looked for a picture on herding cats for this one, I just couldn't find a good one. But that's what it feels like sometimes. As we all know, universities sometimes come with the syndrome of, oh yeah, if it was somebody else's idea, it can't possibly be any good. And we do see a little bit of that occasionally. Another challenge is communication, and why did I choose a picture of a starfish? Sometimes it feels like this is our communication pattern with me at the center, I guess the independent person. Everybody likes talking to me, but sometimes it'd be nice if they were just talking to one another as well. Doesn't happen quite so much. We have started to be a bit creative of how we do our work. These are pictures from our annual planning meeting in February this year, where I actually got them to play with pink glitter glue. And we took a bit more broader picture view. Previously we had tried to make a plan for a whole year and then stick to that plan for the whole year. Didn't work so well. Now we're doing monthly prioritizing, where every month they get a budget of virtual dollars that represent development capacity, and they get to pick and choose and make their bids on what features they would like to have developed for this month. Been doing this for about 3 to 4 months, and it's been working out really well so far. So I'd recommend that. So comparing it to the alternatives I mentioned earlier, what if we each hosted our own repository? One of my librarians summarized it as, we'd be doing less, and we'd be doing it less well. We'd have these frazzled people who kind of find ways to do something that maybe aren't quite so optimal. What if we went with external hosting? We'd have less influence on what was going on. We probably couldn't afford things on our own that we can afford to do together. And we would lose the sense of community, or at least the opportunity for having the sense of community, where maybe sometimes we can ask to learn to make better use of our opportunities. But overall, we've got our repositories up and running. Here are pictures of the front pages of each of them, and you can just see by looking at it already that is quite different. But in general, we're very happy with the approach we're having, and if you would like to find out more, feel free to get in touch either in person or via email. Thank you.